Hey you, so on this video, should you only stack silver now, or is it best to only stack silver now? I'm going to be going over just that. Now this video's come about as I show a collection of my miscellaneous coins here, coins and a few bars that I do own. This video's came about as I've recently been speaking with a few individuals now. Two that stand out as an individual I talk with a lot of the times in the background, and it's just regarding he's a full-blown gold stacker, doesn't understand why I stack silver, constantly seeing the downfalls of it. And as many are, some people can be emotional. Even in the comments you see individuals slamming individuals that stack silver and the likes of, and some can just get a little carried away. But then I'm also in talks with an individual who needed to liquidate some silver, and this is where the video is coming from now. I did tell him I'd do a video on this subject, and with the current lows for buyers, it's definitely a buyer's market. Can it go lower? Who knows? It's a fantastic opportunity. But if you're one of the unfortunate individuals that would be needing to sell right now, you're not going to be feeling too good and too great. And I wanted to do this video for individuals because individuals have asked me why do I stack silver in general, and individuals are very passionate about why they would only stack silver now. But I just wanted to give somewhat of a heads up to individuals because, a lot of the pundits out there that are heavy silver, off the top of my head, I would say some of these guys could easily be, I'd say, top three in order. Least aggressive these days is Mike Maloney. Absolutely love his work. He's real important to this whole stacking precious metal thing. Third would be David Morgan. Once again, another individual. Love their work. Love his work. And the main individual going real aggressive for silver would be Chris Dwayne. Silver Shield. Absolutely love his work also. Big shout out to all of those three. But I tell you now, for an individual who's just relying and hanging on to their every word, all three of those individuals I just mentioned there, I highly doubt they would be in this situation where they would need to liquidate any silver they had right now should they run into some unforeseen circumstances. So this is what I mean when individuals get way too passionate, aggressively only stacking silver. Now I'll go over three of the main benefits an individual or individuals just out there. I stack silver. I can tell you I've done many videos as to why I personally love silver and stack silver. As you can see, high premium and low premium. But the main ones that are out there for individuals that only go silver would be the plus. It's, in terms of the gold to silver ratio, it's the better buy. So people would tell you right now, for time of releasing this video, 84 ounces of silver would get you an ounce of gold. Now, I don't know how they work out that metric, whether it's high premium silver we're talking about, low premium scrap silver. That's just not the case. But that's just me just touching upon that. 84 ounces of silver right now, you couldn't take 84 ounces of silver. I highly doubt even scrap or generic silver and get yourself an ounce of gold. So I don't know how they've worked out the gold to silver ratio, but it'd be great if people could elaborate in the comments maybe as to how they've come about with that metric. But it's not going to be the case, so I do see, and individuals do push forward that it's a better buying opportunity with the current ratios. It's never been this low, but I'll get on to in a moment why I think getting caught in that one alone can work out very bad for you. The next one would be the main reasons to only stack silver is going to be an individual telling you that compared to gold, it's a much better price. It's at a much better price. Gold's, I've heard individuals say it's overinflated, compared to its previous price, I'd say 10 years ago and now, whereas silver is undervalued. That is the case. It's one of the reasons why I do pick up silver myself once again. And then the next one would be, you get more bang for your buck when you're picking up silver. If you're on a tight budget, you're able to, really see and get a lot more weight for your pound. And ultimately, the saying is, you buy low and sell when it's high. Now, technically, all three of what I just mentioned are all the same thing, basically, stating that silver's the better purchase right now, whether it's from the ratio, whether it's underpriced, or whether an individual on a tight budget can really get more weight for their money. And then when that miraculous big bang comes, you're going to be able to sell it for £1,000 an ounce and the likes of. Now, it hasn't worked that way for a lot of individuals that I've been in conversation with. And, you know, sometimes I think it would personally be good if more individuals done videos displaying this. There's nothing wrong. I have no issues showing my highs and my lows, because individuals can benefit from that. And this is exactly why I'm doing this video, because we now have a situation with individual I'm in talks with, and I feel for him because he wants to sell his silver and he has just over 100 plus ounces at somewhere near to what he paid. He's got a quote from a dealer, absolutely not happy with that quote, and that's just the case. Not saying it would have been 100% better if he was in a different metal, but you know, when you go, and this is the purpose of this video here, all silver, just specifically silver, you really need to understand your motives, why, and specifically, are you in a comfortable financial position where should anything come up, i.e. the kind of situation this individual finds himself in, you know, not forgetting the higher premiums that you pay on silver, it's going to be, you know, a real hard blow come time to sell it if you're selling in a down market. If it's a lifestyle like myself and many others, you're not going to really worry. You know, if anything happened now, I wouldn't need to draw upon my silver stack. And so, you know, I'm going long. In the highs, I don't buy as much, and in the lows, I take full advantage of that. Individuals just starting out, or individuals in the mid to long term, everybody's come across that when they've come to sell silver, and you know, a lot sooner than they would have liked or hoped, and run into this problem. So this is why, for me personally, I'm not an individual that advocates all silver. You know, you're not going to hear me tell you, yep, all silver and this or that. You know, as with a lot of the things, even from what I'm showing here, I believe in diversity and diversity in the stack. For individuals to counter some of those pluses that I've just mentioned, I would say, you know, if it's a tight budget that you're on, or individuals on, you have the option of fractional gold. You know, fractional gold gives you the option to get into gold at a lower price point, yeah, a smaller amount, but it gives you that opportunity to even diversify your stack. And I'll get on to it at the end as to why I think it's definitely an option. You know, if an individual has got their goals or their mind set on silver and wants to get a steady foundation, I totally agree with that. By all means, go ahead. You know, in the end of the day, it's down to each and every individual for what they want to do and how they want to do it. But to just focus purely on silver, I think can be reckless. I've said this in past videos. We don't know what's going to happen when that day comes. You know, we've seen dealers do whatever they do. What I like to think, I'm level and sane headed. I could never tell you right now, you know, if silver was to shoot up tomorrow and gold also, you know, just call up your dealer. It's going to be a simple process. It's now 30 to 1 an ounce. You purchased at 80 to 1. It will be as simple as 1, 2, 3. I've not come across many individuals that took advantage of the last spike when it was 30 or 40 to 1, but I've heard a lot of individuals refer and talk about it. But I like to prepare for any situation, and that's why I would say stacking both is the safest and the best bet. Once again, if you're trying to complete a foundation stack that you may have, then by all means go ahead, reach your goal. But I would most definitely say, personally, from my own personal perspective here, and this is why the bulk of this video has come about, I don't think it's very wise to just purely stack silver. You know, both have their benefits and both are good for an individual. The reasons I just stated, I don't think are good enough for an individual to fully go in on just one metal, and especially if you're in a tighter situation. Of course, if you're in a strong financial situation, anything's possible. You know, you may never need to. This could be technically a hobby for you, depending on how much you throw it, but it may be something you never need to draw upon should you find yourself in an unfortunate situation, should you not like how the current market's going down or anything of that. Then, you know, you wouldn't need to worry. But a lot of individuals, and I'll come across more than a few, should really consider diversifying. Once again, diversify into both gold and silver. I've done videos on the benefits of gold. I myself came in very heavy silver in the beginning. You know, it wasn't mainly off of the mindset that I would convert when the time comes. I saw silver as the better buy. You know, I caught the bug of, you know, 1,000 an ounce tomorrow and the likes of. But after doing more research, after getting in, I know where silver can go. I know it's technically undervalued, and I'm going along with it, so it doesn't make a difference for me. But getting into gold when I did, I'm very happy I did, and definitely in bulk, because I'm going a lot more aggressive now, and it does really fit perfect in time as we're currently going through lows. So I would say it's a great time to take absolute advantage of both gold and silver, you know, in these current dips for individuals buying. Definitely don't write it off under the guys that, you know, come a higher ratio, you're just going to convert. It's going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3. You could end up getting yourself in a spot of bother if you're working off it, just of that case there. If you're in a strong position and you're never going to need to attach your stack, then you shouldn't need to worry about it. But I've spoke with and come across more individuals that have had somewhat of a rude awakening come time to liquidate their stack, and they've gone very heavy in silver. Also, in just within also the coins that they've collected, it may have been a certain coin that they personally liked. From, once again, I'm all for individual stacking what they like, but you know, in situations like that, I think for each individual it'd be a good thing if an individual would stack something more good, strong on the resale and secondary market, and also to bring up one of the points I made earlier, to stack some gold, especially if you're not into gold at all. Because if you would look at maybe going for a minimum, smallest a quarter ounce of gold, for instance, and or an ounce of gold. And if you're on a tight budget, I would say aim for these. You of course can get the 1/10 or the 1/20, but getting as big as this, and this for an individual that had no interest in gold whatsoever, should you run into a tight situation, you're going to be taking less of a hit, as gold could be picked up, you know, raw, your average government minted or the likes of, at a much lower premium worldwide, and then can also be sold for as close to spot and not too much down. Whereas silver, they get a lot more fussy. So liquidating gold is a lot easier and a lot smoother process. Ideally, if you're an individual that has no interest in gold whatsoever, believe you me, if your aim is give or take 50 to 100 ounces of silver, and within that time frame, you know, you save up and acquire an ounce of gold, and a time comes that you didn't see coming and you need to liquidate, you're going to be very happy that you had that ounce of gold that you didn't want. There could be no harm in picking up a gold ounce or gold in general, if you're not interested in it, and just having a small piece aside should this technically could be your emergency fund. Should a worst case scenario happen, you can look to sell your gold that you didn't want. So that's definitely something individuals should look into come time to sell, or an individual should want to sell. So I'm going to wrap this one up, but I wanted to put this question out there because I know there's a lot of individuals that some are very emotional and passionate about just steering clear of silver all in all. It's a horrible metal. Then you have those that only are for silver, you know, absolutely write off gold. It's of no importance, and for the reasons that I stated. But me personally, I'm in the position where I think stacking both is the best approach. You know, diversify. And should anything happen, like an individual that I'm in talks with currently, you can really protect yourself, you know, hedge yourself against maybe having to sell something that you don't want to sell, or maybe, you know, just avoiding a very harsh reality wake-up call. So, you know, I just wanted to put this one out there, hear from individuals. What do you think? Do you think it's best to just only stack silver right now and not look into gold and focus on it at a later date when maybe the ratios come down? Are you that type of individual? Do you think it's risky only stacking one metal? Are you for stacking both? In the end of the day, there's, like I said, there's pluses to stacking the both of them. I can't see why an individual would only stack one. You know, saying that, I haven't heard from many individuals since I've been stacking of horror stories having to liquidate gold, you know. So that put out there now. Not to forget, I'm all for silver. I'm a total advocate of silver. As you can see, I have more than enough silver. I stack silver to the, you know, brim. But I think it's dangerous when individuals only stack silver. And if so, you need to find out what type of individual you are. If you're never going to need to touch comfortably your stack, then by all means crack on. You know, this ain't for you. You have nothing to worry about. But if you're an individual just getting in, and you know, you may just want to focus purely on silver, I would say take a look into some fractional gold or some gold in general, because it definitely has its benefits. So I hate or love it, guys. It'd be fantastic to hear your views on this. Are you all silver, no silver, all gold, you know, no gold? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. So hate or love it, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.